Have you ever met someone who is a Libra and felt like you almost understood them, but never completely? Why is Libra one of the most charming, diplomatic, and magnetic signs of the zodiac, and at the same time one of the most misunderstood? There is something rare here, something layered, something that makes everyone say, "I know a Libra," while only seeing the surface. Today, we go deeper. For some people, Libra is sweet, romantic, and easy to love. For others, distant, indecisive, and impossible to decipher. So which one is true? The answer might surprise you both. Libra lives between appearance and essence. What they show is harmony. What they keep inside is emotional turbulence carefully managed so that no one gets hurt. And that is exactly where misunderstandings begin. In this video, you're about to discover the 5 real reasons that make Libra so hard to understand. Each reason reveals a deeper level of the Libra mind, from behaviors that seem simple to emotional mechanisms almost nobody notices. And I'll warn you, the 5th reason completely changes the way you see this sign. If you enjoy content that reveals the hidden side of the zodiac signs, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us continue bringing deep analyses like this. Now take a breath, because the dive is about to begin. Libra wants to please, but that comes at a cost. When we talk about Libra, almost everyone notices the same things first: kindness, politeness, diplomacy. Libra knows how to lighten the atmosphere, how to avoid friction, how to find the right words so no one gets hurt. It's the sign that walks into a tense environment and naturally tries to restore peace. But what looks like simple niceness hides a much deeper mechanism. Libra feels, almost like a personal mission, the responsibility to maintain balance in relationships. If someone is uncomfortable, they notice. If the tone of the conversation changes, they catch it. If there's a risk of conflict, their emotional radar goes off. And before the situation explodes, Libra is already adjusting posture, opinion, energy. In practice, this can make them agree when they wanted to disagree. Smile when they wanted to walk away. Say it's fine when it clearly isn't. Not because they are fake, but because they fear the truth might break something. There is a silent fear inside Libra, the fear of being the cause of disharmony. So, many times, they sacrifice personal desires to preserve the collective well-being. They swallow discomfort, postpone confrontations, soften feelings. But keeping things inside has consequences. Because no one can adapt forever without starting to lose themselves. Over time, Libra may feel they give more than they receive, that they understand more than they are understood, that they make enormous efforts to keep relationships working while almost no one notices what they are doing. And then a frustration is born that few people see. On the outside, they remain kind. On the inside, they begin to wonder, who takes care of me? The beautiful side of this trait is extraordinary empathy. Libra can see multiple points of view, build bridges, avoid unnecessary wounds. It's a rare talent. But the difficult side is that, in trying to please everyone, Libra may end up not being completely honest with anyone, sometimes not even with themselves. And when they finally get tired, people are shocked. Because they were used to the balance, without realizing the weight Libra was carrying to sustain that peace. Understanding this is understanding why, many times, Libra seems to change moods out of nowhere. It wasn't out of nowhere. It was accumulation. Libra thinks more than they show. Anyone observing Libra from the outside might believe everything is simple, settled, peaceful. The posture is calm, the smile is polite, the conversation flows. They seem like someone who handles life well, who isn't easily shaken, who maintains elegance even in emotionally complicated situations. But this image hides a crucial detail. The Libra mind is rarely silent. While many people react immediately, Libra enters an almost constant internal process of analysis. They calculate the words they heard, recall expressions, measure consequences, imagine future outcomes. Every gesture is revisited. Every possibility is weighed. It's as if there were a courtroom inside Libra's head, where emotional arguments are presented before any decision is made. Yet almost none of this is spoken out loud. Libra struggles to externalize the turmoil happening inside because they fear seeming dramatic, exaggerated, or unfair. So they filter, organize, wait until they feel certain. And while they wait, the world believes they're not thinking about anything important. But they are, and a lot. Sometimes, when Libra is quiet, that's exactly when they are reflecting the most. They may be trying to understand whether it's worth bringing something up, whether the conversation will bring resolution or just wear and tear, whether speaking will bring people closer or push them away. The problem is that the person on the other side doesn't see this mental effort. They only see silence. And silence is often interpreted as coldness, disinterest, or lack of depth, when, in reality, it can be the exact opposite, emotional intensity being carefully managed. The positive side of this is prudence. Libra avoids impulsive actions, thinks before hurting someone, tries to act with fairness. They genuinely care about doing what is most balanced for everyone involved. The difficult side is that this excessive analysis can delay important positions. People around them may miss clear answers, certainties, more direct attitudes. But for Libra, clarity without reflection is irresponsibility. So they keep thinking, reviewing, recalculating, often alone. And maybe that's why so many people feel they don't understand Libra. Because they try to read visible actions, while the real story is happening backstage in the mind. Libra is afraid of making the wrong choices. There is a central point to understanding Libra that almost nobody notices. Behind the reputation for indecision lives a heart with a deep fear of causing irreversible losses. For many people, deciding is simply choosing a path. For Libra, it automatically means giving up all the others. And that is heavy. Every decision carries questions that echo inside them. What if I regret it? What if someone gets hurt? What if there is a fairer option I still haven't managed to see? So before acting, Libra reviews scenarios, imagines emotional consequences, evaluates invisible impacts. They don't just want to choose what is best for themselves. They want the choice to be right for everyone involved. It's a level of emotional responsibility that is exhausting, because the world often demands speed, immediate answers, definitions. Meanwhile, Libra is trying to reach something almost impossible, the perfect decision, the one where no one loses, no one suffers, no one is left unbalanced. But that ideal choice rarely exists, and that's where the anguish is born. On the outside, it looks like stalling. On the inside, it's pressure. Pressure to be fair. Pressure not to fail. Pressure not to carry the guilt of a negative outcome. Libra knows that decisions shape destinies, change dynamics, close possibilities. That's why they hesitate. Not out of weakness, but because they understand the size of the power in their hands. The beautiful side of this trait is awareness. Libra rarely acts selfishly or thoughtlessly. There is care, consideration, humanity. The difficult side is that, while trying to protect everyone, they can end up paralyzed. And this paralysis begins to be interpreted as lack of interest, insecurity, or even immaturity. But the truth is different. Libra is not afraid of deciding. They are afraid of hurting. And many times, they would rather delay a move than live with the feeling that they could have done better. Only time passes. People grow tired. Opportunities change. And when Libra finally decides, the world has often been waiting for a long time. Maybe that's why understanding Libra requires patience. Because their choices are not born from impulse. They are born from a genuine desire to do what is right, even if it costs their own peace. Libra hides their own chaos. If there is something that defines Libra, it's the almost artistic ability to maintain the appearance of balance even when everything inside is out of place. Libra learned early that environments work better when there is harmony. Arguments are draining. Confrontations push people away. Emotional explosions leave marks that are hard to erase. So, little by little, They develop a survival strategy, managing their own chaos in silence. While many signs externalize pain, Libra internalizes it. They take a deep breath, arrange their expression, choose gentle words, and keep going. Anyone watching from the outside might even think, wow, this person is so strong, nothing shakes them. But that strength, most of the time, is restraint. Inside, feelings are running. Doubts are screaming. Fears are asking for attention. And even so, Libra tries to spare others from that weight. There is a deep belief within Libra that loving also means protecting. Protecting others from discomfort, from worry, from turbulence. So they would rather look fine than admit they are lost. They would rather smile than be the cause of a heavy atmosphere. The problem is that no one can offer support to someone who never shows they need it. And that's how a silent loneliness is born. People admire Libra's stability, seek their advice, their comfort, their good sense. But they rarely ask who holds Libra up when they collapse. Because they almost never collapse in public. The positive side is emotional elegance. Libra avoids unnecessary drama, thinks before reacting, tries to preserve relationships. The difficult side is the accumulation. Feelings don't disappear just because they were hidden. They pile up. They gain weight. And at some point, the balance that seems so firm begins to crack. Then come the sudden changes that shock those around them. An unexpected withdrawal. A tiredness nobody predicted. A coldness that seems to have appeared out of nowhere. But it wasn't out of nowhere. It was the result of chaos managed alone for far too long. Understanding Libra means realizing that behind the peace they offer the world, there is someone who would also like to be embraced without having to ask. Someone who, even as the symbol of balance, sometimes just wants the right not to be okay. Libra wants to be chosen without having to ask. At the center of Libra's heart, there is a deep, delicate, and often invisible desire to be someone's priority spontaneously. Libra wants to feel that someone stays because they want to stay, not out of obligation, not because of pressure, not because they were asked to, but because they chose to. It may sound simple, but for Libra this is proof of true love. It is the confirmation that the feeling is genuine, free, balanced. When someone chooses to stay without being pushed, Libra feels emotional safety. The problem is that they rarely ask for this validation. Libra fears that by requesting reassurance, the gesture will lose authenticity. If they have to beg for attention, for presence, for definition, then maybe it isn't real. Maybe the other person doesn't truly want to be there. And that's when the silent test begins. Libra observes actions, measures interest, notices who comes close on their own and who only shows up when called. They pay attention to details almost nobody else sees. Who remembers, who reaches out, who insists, who remains. Meanwhile, on the outside, they seem calm. But inside, they are evaluating the value of the bond. The beautiful side is that when Libra feels chosen, they offer deep loyalty, partnership, genuine dedication. They flourish in environments where love is clear, voluntary, reciprocal. The difficult side is that while this security doesn't arrive, Libra may seem distant. They may reduce demonstrations. They may act as if they don't care that much. It isn't disinterest. It's self-protection. They would rather appear detached than risk being the only one investing. They prefer to wait for the other person's initiative than to feel they forced a feeling. But the person on the other side doesn't always understand this silent game. They think Libra has grown cold, that they lost interest, that they became indecisive, when, in reality, Libra is simply asking, without words, if I don't ask, will you still stay? And that question carries enormous vulnerability, because it involves pride, fear of rejection, and the desire to be loved in the purest way possible. Maybe that's why Libra is so hard to understand. They want guarantees that cannot be demanded. They want certainties that only time can reveal. They want love, but a love that arrives freely. When that happens, Libra stops testing, stops doubting, stops measuring, and simply surrenders. Understanding Libra is accepting that not every silence is absence. Sometimes it is depth. What looks like indecision can be care. What looks like mystery can be protection. And what looks like distance can simply be the fear of loving alone. After today, maybe you'll realize Libra was never difficult to understand. We just had never looked deeply enough. Before you go, I truly want to thank you for staying with me until here. If this message spoke to you, if at any moment you recognized someone, or even yourself, then it arrived exactly where it needed to. And for me to know you received this content at the right moment, write 0303 here in the comments. This number is your way of saying, I understood, I felt it, I'm ready to see deeper. Your participation is what gives life to this community. And if you enjoy learning about Libra's mysteries and want to keep discovering hidden truths about the signs, join us now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any video, like it, and share it with someone who needs to understand this too. The more people awaken, the stronger this message becomes. See you in the next video.